للقارئ الإمام أبو الفردوس باشا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة.
We thank Almighty Allah for this day and this moment, for keeping us alive and keeping us healthy to witness this sacrifice that He is the only Lord and only Almighty that deserves. And we thank Almighty Allah for every opportunity given to us as Muslims. And inshallah today we are going to exhaust the topic we started the past week, and it's all about a foundation of a Muslim that will establish his well-being and the well-being of his family and the Muslim community as a whole. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has indicated and stressed the importance of making a choice by establishing a solid foundation that contributes positively to the progress of Islam and the community of Muslims. And we made mention about issues that is stated by the Prophet as to what sort of woman or a man that we can choose to run our lives or to spend the rest of our lives with. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he was asked, who is the better woman to choose as a life partner, he said, التي إذا نظرت إليها سرتك وإذا أمرتها أطاعتك وإذا غبت عنها حفظتك في نفسها ومالك. That is the woman whom when you stare at, you get some peace and happiness within you, and when you give some sort of directives and guidance, it is obeyed and taken in good faith. And when you keep away, she protects your wealth, she protects your family, and protects herself from wrongdoing. And because, just to emphasize the importance of that, even the prophets did not underrate or undermine making choices in their lives, because that constitutes the progress of even the message they are bringing to mankind. You look at Nabiullah Ibrahim. Nabiullah Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, when he married Hajar and he was instructed to take her to Mecca and leave them there without food, water, with a newborn baby. When he was leaving Mecca and Hajar was running around him, asking him whether he was instructed by Almighty Allah to leave them behind in that crucial situation, in that crucial condition. She asked him, Allahu amaraka bihada? Is it Almighty Allah that instructed you to leave us in such a crucial condition? For the sympathy and the feeling that he has for his family because of that difficult condition or situation he found himself in. And when you compare the two circumstances, you realize that Nabiullah Ibrahim have gone through a lot of situations of this nature. First of all, the instructions he got later to slaughter Nabiullah Ismail when he was so addicted in loving him. So first, before that particular sacrifice, in testing his faith and his ability to carry the message of Allah, He could not even turn back to look at them. He shook his head that yes, it is the Almighty Allah who instructed me to leave you behind, and He is capable of taking care of you. She did not argue. That's why the Almighty Allah is saying, الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض وبما أنفقوا من أموالهم. And He made it clear that it is not every woman who will submit to that directions and that guidance. And He said, فَالصَّالِحَاتُ قَانِتَاتٌ حَافِظَاتٌ لِلْغَيْبِ. Those women who are based on faith, who has moral values, who are fully submitted to do the will of Allah, they are the women that will accept whatever direction, whatever guidance is or command that is put by Almighty Allah. And they believe that whatever it is, whether they like it or not, it is in their interest or it is for the well-being of the society as a whole. So when he left her, she accepted the faith, and she was running around Safa mountain and Marwa, and that is where we got the history of Zamzam. The story is long, and that is not our topic. So it means that the submission and the acceptance of the woman by the will of Allah makes the success of Nabiullah Ibrahim fulfilling the dream and the guidance and instructions of Allah. If the woman was going to be giving him trouble and headache by saying, I will not agree, and he is going to, combine passion and sympathy and authority, you can see that he will crash one way or the other. And that's why even our own system, they say behind every successful man, there is a woman. So it is not just for nothing. Islam have said it already. So they are tools that can back up whatever mission you are carrying to be able to fulfill it successfully and wonderfully. So the woman's submission has contributed a lot in the success of his message. To come back to look at the choices, you realize that after the settlement of Nabiullah Ismail in Makkah, by the time the father came back to Makkah to look at his condition and how he's faring as a father, Nabiullah Ismail was already married. He made a choice from a family we called Arab al-Musta'riba. It was combined of traditions, and now we have Arab al-Musta'riba and Arab al-Ariba and the Arabs themselves. So he picked a woman from the family that is a mixture of Arabs and other, other tribes. So when he picked the woman, Nabiullah Ibrahim came around Makkah and he could not meet Nabiullah Ismail at home. He went for hunting. He met the woman. So he asked the woman, how are you faring? How is your husband? Who is well? And she doesn't even know that the Nabiullah Ibrahim is the father of her husband. I've just seen an old man who came asking her about how they are doing. So the woman said, God save the situation. We eat once a while, no food, nothing. He gets up and goes for hunting, he comes back very late, bringing nothing. The trouble is so much. I don't even think that I can bear it. What sort of situation is this? Here and there, talking. She doesn't even know who was the one she's talking to. Nabiullah Ibrahim shook his head and said, okay, I hear. I will see what best I can do about it. But when your husband comes back, tell him an old man passed by to see how your people are doing. And he's saying that he should change his doorstep. And left. When Nabiullah Ismail came back, he felt the presence of the father. That is how thick blood is. He felt that something has come around him that is very close and very touching. So he asked the wife, I guess someone has come to visit us. She said, yes. There's an old man who came around and was asking about how we are doing. And he asked her, so what did you tell him? She said, I told him our situation, maybe he could be of help. I told him we are always hungry, we don't have food to eat. He's philosophical struggle. We don't even understand what exactly it is. And he said, then what has he told you? What message has he left behind? She said, the old man said, you should change your doorstep. And he shook his head and said, I am not surprised. That is my father who visited us. And he's instructing me to leave you because you are not a woman of integrity. You are not a woman that can protect somebody who is a leader of a society. You are not a wife of somebody who is going to carry the whole world on his head. So it tells you that anytime you have a woman who talks too much, who says everything, and you are somebody that has carried a weight outside your what do we call it, your surroundings, then you are in a big trouble. At any point of time, there is no secrecy, there is no decency, there is no manners with a woman in the way she handles affairs of the home, then the husband is in trouble. This is a woman who does not even identify the man as his her-in-law, and look at the stories she's given up. He can be an enemy, it can be a threat, but she gave it out. What does she care? So Nabiullah Ismail was forced to divorce her and bring another woman. One time in a blue moon, the father came around and found a new woman, and the husband was also not around. And he asked that woman, how are you? You are fine, whatever. What is going on? And the situation was still bad. But that woman kept on praising and talking and describing the joy. And the father could see it all. From the surroundings, money does not hide itself. When you have it and you are wearing rag, it tells people I am around. That's why you cannot boast with money when you don't have it. So the father knows that situation and the condition was bad, but at least he knows that all that demonstration that is portrayed by the woman was to protect the image and the dignity of her husband. So he also gave a message. When your husband comes, tell him to maintain and establish his doorstep. And when he came back, he felt it again. Then he asked her, she narrated the story, and he said, what did he say? He said, you should maintain your doorstep and you should take good care of it. And the husband said, yes, that's my father. He is giving me some sort of wasiyah to keep you well and maintain you, that you are a woman of a man like me. So it is telling you how much important making choice in Islam looks like. Nabiullah Sulaiman, alayhi salatu wassalam, God has given him a whole lot, and he has expanded his kingdom and gave him a lot of ability. He listens to animals and birds, he can speak with them, he can talk with any kind of animals and birds that live around him. And there was a bird that is called hudhud. I think in English they call him hoopoe. That hudhud is a bird that can even identify. He was like a geologist, he was also like a spy. So he was running to do the BNI, the CIA stuff of work around the village, whether he's instructed or not. He goes, he sits here, for instance, he can be here and can really see what is happening in South Africa. God has given him that sight. And he can talk just like a human being. He has common sense, he describes things the way a human being would do it. His duty is even beyond that. And when they are going to drill any well, he comes around and identify whether the water is here or water is there. When they are looking for gold, he also can come and identify where gold is, where the gold lines are and things like that. That was the sort of ability and strength that God has given to that bird. So he was a member of Nabiullah Ismail's cabinet. So one time he just left because he had sighted something around them and he wanted to clarify. So he went out without permission. And Nabiullah Ismail came to inspect them and could not find him. He said, "Where is the boy? I don't see him. I don't want to believe that he has run away and left my kingdom. And if it is not, I swear to the Almighty Allah that when I found him, I will punish him a severe punishment, or I will even slaughter him for moving away without permission." This is a bird. But look at the directives, look at the motive of Nabiullah Ismail in running his people. So Nabiullah Ismail and Nabiullah Sulaiman, waited, and before he realizes, the hudhud overheard him giving threats. And he was far away in thousands of kilometers. He heard the man very much angry, threatening that when he gets in, what he will do. So when Nabiullah Ismail was sitting and he came, then he started crawling, pulling his wings in the hot sand, approaching Nabiullah Ismail and said, "Look, all what you have seen is in your interest. I have gone far away to discover something you did not discover. And it will interest you to know how much you boast with your kingdom. There are other kingdoms even that are ruled by women. And if you care to know, let me reach you safely and give you the story." Imagine the technical approach from a bird, by a bird. And he comes around Nabiullah Ismail and said, "I moved around a place called Sabah and I found a woman. When I found that woman, I realized that she has been given a portion of all goodness. A portion of all goodness, and her kingdom is wonderful." What ulamas have identified out of this is that he is already preparing the mind of Nabiullah Ismail of the beauty and the decency of that woman to establish some sort of relationship between the two. Because he's able to identify that the queen of Saba was called Bilqis. And Bilqis was a mixture. Her mother was a jinn and the father was a human being. And this is where ulamas have struck out the possibility of a human being marrying a jinn. But if you are marrying a jinn, don't say "I said." You must be aware. Anytime you find your bird hanging on air, don't blame me. Because there are surprises that you will see. So because of that woman was that mixture, it is confirmed by ulamas that it is possible for a human being to marry a jinn, but they differ in three issues. How can they meet? Because the nature of our sex is different. So how can the contact look like? Secondly, because they are made of fire, as is described, and we are made of sand, we are not compatible. We can have affair, there can be contact, but they can be what? They can be production. You can produce. Because the sperm lines are different, the nature is different. And the final thought, school of thought, is that it is possible that you can even produce, you can make children. And that is what is confirmed, because Bilqis is a product of that. So her kingdom was guided by the jinns, the anchors. And they have made the kingdom very useful and very strange. And subhanAllah, when you recite the versions in Quran, you see the wonderful presentation. You will see what the hudhud was saying is that, look for that woman, brought her attention, marry her. If you combine the two kingdoms, you will be very great. And that was the interest of hudhud in that matter. وَأُوتِيَتْ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. He said, إِنِّي وَجَدْتُ امْرَأَةً تَمْلِكُهُ وَأُوتِيَتْ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَلَهَا عَرْشٌ عَظِيمٌ. I found that woman that is ruling them God has blessed her and gave her everything that a woman will need to have. Everything that a man will admire and like in a woman. And let me finish it for you. She's also a queen, don't forget it, and she has control over her kingdom. So that means her coming to you is not only her, but she's bringing everyone on board. So Nabiullah Sulaiman was he then got the interest, and he started sending messages. He said, well, I will send you there, you go and come back. What is more important in our topic here is that Nabiullah Ismail, to welcome her, he established a living room. He took a section of his council to prepare where he's going to receive that queen. You see, sometimes when you are meeting a woman that you want to engage, a relationship with, I believe that your ironing and the starches that you put in the dress for the first time is different. You make sure that nowhere is squeezed. So you can see that the extra interest of Nabiullah Sulaiman in preparing the place to receive that woman tells you that there was some sort of interest at the background. But let me tell you how important it is to make a choice. One aspect of women that you will always notice, and I want to tell you this on authority, you go and search and do and tell me later whether it's true or not. Every woman that you find, the stretch of her leg towards the feet is so slimmer than the thigh, you notice that she's a talkative. And when someone talks too much, by finishing talking the truth, he starts to reveal secrets. Because he always wants to be talking. So imagine if you are a president, you are a minister, you are a CEO of a serious company, you are coming to rest, and she can tell you that, hey, when you went to the office, this man came and he told me good morning, and I said, oh, you too, good morning, and he said, oh, so how are you? She will, even how she's responding to the greetings, she will narrate all. Before you realize, your files are down. So Nabiullah Ismail, because he was a prophet, and he needs to be covered, he needs to be protected. So what he found very important was to make sure that she was a woman of integrity. She was a woman that can keep herself not exposed. She's an indoor woman, not outdoor woman. So he made a surface of a glass. He has control of air. Nabiullah Ismail can instruct air to say, take so and so to Makkah, and within a second you are there. So he instructed air to move around the surface glass. So when the woman came in, she thought it was a pool. And she raised her dress. This is where you also take an angle of the importance of hijab, or decent women, even without Islam, will not uncover themselves, expose themselves. If you even look at the British, how they dress some centuries and years ago, you realize that they were fully covered from the shoulder to down. So she raises the jalabia from her feet, and he saw the legs. When he saw it, he said, apart from what I saw out there, this one is okay. And he find her a place to sit down for them to talk business. So this is to tell us that it is very important. There are so many things that you need to see from a woman to be able to identify what sort of future line you want to draw for yourself. And for that matter, he got it right, and later the woman embraced Islam. It's a long story. She embraced Islam and she accepted him, she married him, and brought all her kingdom to what? To inject into his kingdom, and they became very big. But because she was having genes that she knew, he was also having control of majority of the jinn. Then they come together to say that, look, this woman is powerful as you see. And you are also, Nabiullah Sulaiman is also that powerful. That if we allow them to give birth, can you imagine the prophet giving birth to a woman like this, we can never gain our freedom. So what they do is that in jinn there are categories. There are those that have very hot air that they can blow into something and destroy it or even make it happen. That's why they can build story buildings. They are those architects that brought a plan of story buildings. It's jinns they brought that because they can start the foundation. Someone will come with a hot air, blow it, and then it dries. So within a second, they can build several towers. Within a second, they have that ability. So what happens is that at any point of time, they notice that the woman is going to pick seed. They go and blow the womb so that it takes, the temperature becomes higher than the level that the sperm could survive. So they destroy the pregnancy every time, so that they will gain their freedom at least after the man is gone and after the woman is gone, or else his child will come and inherit them and they will always be in trouble. So this is some of the tricks that people, your followers, can also bring into your system. So those that have ability or status of leadership should be watchful and know that things that are going into their homes or other things can be disrupted or can be influenced. So that is how much is important when you are making choice. You make sure that you get a solid, you make this very solid choice to establish a very solid foundation. So that is Islam for you, and that is how important it is. And it is not to undermine the right of a woman in making her own choice. And inshallah, we will talk a little about it. And in 2 weeks' time, when we meet again, we will want to go in, because societal problems are always what we shy away from, as if it is not part of Islam, as if it's not part of our daily lives, and that is wrong. So inshallah, when we talk about making the choice, that means you are going to establish a home. When you establish a home, there should be a structure, there should be a way to run it. So inshallah, when we meet next time, we are going to be talking about the techniques to run a family, the techniques to run a home. And subsequently, we will build on it so that those that after they made choices, they married, how to run their homes and how to be happy, because it is the happiness that you will have at home that will determine how successful you will be outside. Istaghfiru rabbakum innahu kana ghaffara. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Women are not left out in deciding their own destiny, in deciding where they think they will be happy. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إذا جاءكم من ترضون دينه وأمانته فزوجوه. At any point of time, somebody knocks your door, as a father, as a senior brother, as an uncle, seeking the hands of your daughter, your niece, your sister in marriage, and you can guarantee his faith. You can guarantee his faith and responsibility. It is not every person that prays so much that is responsible. Don't go and be making noise in the ear of your daughter every time the man is in the mosque. His relationship with Almighty Allah does not determine how good he is to run a family. So the prayer alone is not enough. That's why the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did not say that إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. He said إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَأَمَانَتَهُ. Because a woman is said to be the product of Allah. That's why the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says that اتقوا الله في النساء اتقوا الله في النساء فإنهن عوام بين أيديكم. That I'm asking you to fear Allah in the way you handle women, because don't forget that they are what? They are products of Allah that is entrusted in your hands. So when you go to knock people's door, the first thing the family should ask shouldn't be, where does he work? What does he do for living? How many people will you find being the richest people in society, but when you marry him your daughter, she has no share in one kobo out of the lot that he has? So the issue is not about how much he has. The issue is about what share will your daughter stand to guarantee. It's what you should look like. So if I am poor, but if I get my 10 CD, we share it 50-50. I even sometimes sacrifice to give her 8 CD and I take 2 CD. And someone who is considered a rich man and will never even take care of their breakfast well, will never think of their welfare, what happens? There is a brother whose wife is in labor. I pray to Almighty Allah to give her a safe delivery. We met a complaint at the hospital. Someone came and dumped his wife yesterday evening around 3 o'clock and left. And the serious condition, up till 11 o'clock, his phone was off. It reaches a point the woman could not deliver normally. They have to send her to intensive care. They want to see him even for transfer. He was nowhere to be found. So is this a man that you will want your daughter, your sister, your niece to marry, whether he's rich or not? And who has no person, who has no code, but he will be by the head of the woman until she delivers safely. Which one is better? So it is a manner in the hands of the parents to make sure that whatever decision the woman has taken should be respected and should be looked at. At the time of the Prophet Muhammad there was a woman who was given to someone, a person that they recommend, they respect to marry. And the woman really knows the man very well, and she thinks that it's okay. But just to establish the fact that a parent has no right to impose marriage on his daughter, just like we take it in our Muslim society, that is part of obeying your father and not disobeying him, that sort of thing. In what? Has to be based on the welfare of the child. So when the man was given, the father was giving her to a man that is good enough, but she was not consulted. She went to the Prophet and told him that my father is imposing marriage on me, and I want to ask you whether he has the right to do so. The Prophet did not say, go move away. If your father decides that, who are you to say no? He said, go and call me your father. He went and called the father. He asked the father, what right do you have to impose marriage on your daughter without consulting him? He said, well, I knew that man very well, and I trust him, and people also believe in him. They think that he's a man of integrity, and I decided that it would be good for my daughter. He said, have you consulted him? He said, no. Why? Then he told the woman, fine. He did not consult you. The decision is now yours. If you want, you cancel the marriage. If you want, you go ahead. Then the woman said, yes, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, I am interested because I also know the man, that he is a man of integrity. I wanted to only establish a fact that my father hasn't got that right whatsoever to impose that marriage on me. So you can see, what are we talking of women's freedom? What are we talking about women slavery in Islam and other things? Just because of ignorance. We think that everything is okay. There was a woman who went to complain. She prays a lot, fasts a lot. At any time the man is in need of her, she's praying. She's fasting. He started rebelling against the prayer and the fasting. Anytime he needs her, because he doesn't want to go out and do something bad. And she is keeping him in faith. She wants to crash his head with God. So he started breaking the fast. This is what today they call marital rape. Can you imagine this? You come to a woman because you want to look decent, you want to look responsible, you need her. I am not in the mood. I am not in the mood. Then when you touch a police station, marital rape. Can you imagine this? You are not in what mood? Women are not made to have mood. Women have an open atmosphere because they are not attracted with things that they see. They are only attracted by things they hear. That's why the Prophet Muhammad says that لا تأتوا نساءكم إتيان البغل فجعلوا بينكم وبينها رسول. Don't come to your woman like animals coming to their women. Leave a message. send a signal. And we now come and say that, what do we call it? We are getting romantic, counseling. This is romance here. In our topics, we will speak about halal charm in Islam. What a woman should do, instructed by the Prophet Muhammad to keep the home running. The salah that she needs to prepare for Allah to be able to function. Prophet Muhammad did not leave all that out. We are only ignorant about Islam. So when you come, a woman is so sympathetic and considerate. You can also not be that cruel. When a woman is sick, when she's in a bad condition, you try to also harass her with these things. You should have some feelings. But under normal circumstances, there is nothing like I'm in the mood or I'm not in the mood. And that is what is causing distraction in our community. If you know that at any point of time, a woman will tell you she's not in the mood or she is in the mood or whatever, this is where you will think of having a girlfriend outside. This is where your secretary takes advantage of the situation. So they are enemies of themselves. Women are enemies of themselves. They hear things on TV and they think that all is well. And they cannot even guarantee those that are preaching the rights and other things. Some of them are befriending other women's husbands. So whose right are you protecting? Whose right are you, undermining? So what is it? So we must be very careful and very attentive. At least it is established Islamically that a woman has the right to make her own choice. She has the right to decide what man she wants. You only need to guide her and give her, break it down for her to be able to understand her faith, to understand where she's going and where she's coming from. But you can't force, you can't impose, you can't do any of that. The Prophet denies that. So inshallah, we will leave it here. When we meet again next time, we will be able to continue as to after making choice, we got married, fine. Then now, how do we live happily and successfully with our families to establish the dignity and the image and represent the men as it is described by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, sirata alladhina an'amta 'alayhim, ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim wa lad-dallin. Allahumma anta Allahu la ilaha illa anta, anta al-ghaniyyul fuqara ilayk. Allahumma inna zalamna anfusana dhulman kathira wa la yaghfiru dhunuba illa ant, faghfir lana maghfiratan min 'indik innaka antal ghafurur rahim. Ibadallah, inna Allaha ya'muru bil 'adli wal ihsan wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkari wal baghi ya'idukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Fadhkurullaha al-'aliyya al-jalila yadhkurkum washkuruhu 'ala ni'amihi yazidkum wa la dhikrullahi